Hello mercenaries, this is Carolyn and you are listening to Merc News. The battle against the clans has seen some success this week as we signal detect no.
We are Clan Jade Falcon, conquerors of the Inner Sphere. Through the strength of Karinsky's ways we have endured, and by the sharpness of our talons we have cut a path through your worlds. Turkina's wings bear us now to a new frontier, to House Kirita and her mighty armed forces. Know this, whatever the outcome, we are happy to join in battle with such worthy adversaries, and accept those who would stand beside us for so great a contest. Give up your fight and join your superiors, or die and be forgotten.
Stabilize that signal. Are we back on?
My apologies, our signal was attacked by an outside source, but that should show you how close the clans are getting if they can attack our signal. They are certainly close enough to be listening to this broadcast. Clan Jade Falcon is now the biggest threat out of the clans, conquering over 90 planets, more than any of the clans, but there is hope. We intercepted a strange holovid this week, strange because it originated from the capital planet of Rasselhog. It showed a man of the FRR wearing ancient armor and clothing and requested pilots and soldiers to pick up arms and fight back, asking for aid from anyone. It would seem that forces were still held up within the planet and plotted a rebellion, and it has seen some victory. As the faction has now reclaimed their home world and all of the surrounding planets, we will watch this area closely for new developing news. The feud between the new Star League and House Kirita has turned out to look more like a war between Kirita and Merrick. Draconis combined forces have pushed past the planet Terra, and into Merrick territory. The Avian's forces have done little against the faction and focused their efforts on Liao instead. Many pilots have gotten their hands on new mechs, the Panther, Enforcer, Grasshopper, and the Zeus. These mechs have surprised the clans and helped hold them back. The effort against the clans has seen success as the invasion has begun to slow. The clans are getting close to Merc News headquarters. As the front draws near, we will continue to do our best to keep giving you the news you need. Join us next week and keep up to date on all things in the Inner Sphere and Merc status. My name is Carolyn and this has been Merc News.
Merc News is a Beer Warriors production. Check them out at beerwarriors.net. No Guts, No Galaxy is recorded in front of a live studio audience. This is an adult podcast containing adult language. Consider yourself warned.
Welcome to the No Guts, No Galaxy Mechs, Devs, and Beer podcast number 18. My name is Phil, and I'm your host. Today is March 19th, 2015, and I'm joined by Daeron. As you guys know, I'm Bombadil. What's going on, old man?
Hey, doing well. Excited for another Mechs, Devs, and Beer. You almost, originally we've done a couple takes here. You almost said number 118. Of course, we've done a ton of regular NGNG podcasts, but yeah, we're only on 18 with the Mechs, Devs, and Beer. So
it all blurs, dude. There's so many.
Yes.
All right. So anyways, we got another Mechs, Devs, and Beer podcast where we sit down with one of the developers at Piranha Games, and today we have a really cool guest I'd like to introduce. Well, I'm probably going to butcher. It is Tina Benoit. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's right. You got it right. Hello.
First time, you got it right.
First time.
Wink,
All
wink.
Right.
That was like 100th time.
The community manager at Piranha Games, and quite new to the position. And anyways, thank you for being on, and gonna sit down and chat a few. But thank you. So.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, welcome Tina to PGI, and welcome to BattleTech and MechWarrior and this community. Enjoy. We'll get into that.
Okay.
All right. So first things, coming into BattleTech and MechWarrior, are you familiar with what you got yourself into, or like, did you know about BattleTech or MechWarrior, or were you like, the what?
Do you even know?
I did not. When I first I did research when I applied, for sure, and but before then, no, not at all.
I was gonna say, BattleTech is what? It's over 25. It's going on what, 26, 27 years now?
Well, since 84, so really 30 years. But
30. Okay.
yeah, I bought it in 84. I don't know if it was out before that. I don't think so. But yeah, you're going to get schooled on this entire universe over the next however many months and years.
Yeah, I've been doing a lot of studying since I've started. Lots of links to lots of things to read, basically.
Sarna.net is your friend.
Oh, yeah. And I've even been thinking about maybe picking up a book or something like that.
Ooh, we could direct you to some excellent books.
That would be nice.
All right, so
we can't ask her what her favorite book is yet.
Well, not yet.
Future.
But I guess I can ask you. Just you said you started looking into it. I'm sure you're like, what? Google MechWarrior. I mean, I guess what's been your sort of first impression? Were you like, giant robots? Really? Like, really? Like, what were your thoughts when you actually saw what MechWarrior was?
The first thing I looked at was old videos. And I saw trailers and I thought, wow, this looks really cool. I really like action and whatnot, so I was really fascinated by the first couple videos and the gameplay videos. And then I went into the game. It was not at all how I thought it would feel compared to other, shooting games out there. So it was quite surprising.
That actually leads into, I do want to talk more about your position at Piranha Games, because you're kind of making a little bit of a comparison that I know about, but the listeners don't know, which is your previous experience in the gaming industry. You actually do have a little bit of experience with giant stompy robots, yeah?
That's right.
You want to tell us a little bit about that, where you came from?
Yeah, well, this position basically for me started at a publishing game company where we were hosting a game called SD Gundam Capsule Fighter. So it's miniature versions of giant mobile suits, robots. No,
Yeah.
I shouldn't say robots.
Don't say robots around here.
I shouldn't.
No, battle mechs. But yeah, so robots. I mean, we're all familiar with Gundam, and more of an arcadey type game or whatever.
That's totally right. Just Googled this, and oh my, they're like cute versions of Gundam.
Yeah,
they're
tiny.
They're tiny. Oh my,
they're very cute.
Well, that might win you some points with some people already.
Basically, the idea is that they come out of capsule machines. You put in a coin and you spin the thing, and they come out in cute little bubble capsules, and it pops open, and it's like a little toy.
That's how we're delivering the Urban Mech, I believe.
Oh.
Just kidding.
Oh.
Cute little Urban Mech. We've seen the screenshots today. Okay, so
yes.
Phil, you want to take that one?
Sorry, I was looking at.
He's looking at the cute little mechs.
I'm like, well, I was like, I've never heard of this. What is this? Okay. So you do have some experience with giant. Well,
do we want to call them giant stop?
No, they're robots.
Cute little robots.
The normal versions are, of course, Gundam is Gigantor, but
they're shrunk down. Basically, SD means super deformed. Like the name of the game, SD Gundam. It's supposed to be super deformed Gundam Capsule Fighter.
Interesting.
I didn't know that. Okay. Well, so anyways, let's go ahead before we, go down that route.
Yes.
Your position at Piranha Games, you're the community manager. I guess we can ask, what does that entail for you exactly?
Biggest part would be the communication. Basically the bridge between developers to the players, so that both know what's going on either side. Another big part, I think, is to bring the community together. To share their content with each other, and seeing what kind of events everybody enjoys, and basically taking all the feedback that I can and helping them enjoy their game.
Now, you'll be speaking with the community on a regular basis,
Right.
but you also have an in with the marketing department, which kind of designs the events and the sales
That's
and stuff
right.
like that too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you'll have maybe a hand in the weekend or events, or the current week-long event and so forth.
Yeah, that's right. I've been already started that when we were planning the what was it, the Pot of Gold event, and
Lucky Charms.
Yeah, that's right. When players were mentioning they really liked the Halloween and the Christmas event. Yeah.
Well, you guys definitely knocked it out of the park with the Lucky Charms. Everybody likes free stuff. Now, a lot of what you do sounds very familiar to Phil and I. We've always considered ourselves kind of community builders. Same idea, supporting the community. Phil and I, obviously before NGNG, Phil's talked to you a little bit about what we were doing. We were gamers and, played other games together, and that's kind of what led here. Are you yourself a gamer? Do you play games?
Yes, I mainly play MMORPGs or MOBA. Well, mostly League of Legends. I guess I don't play the other ones, but and RPGs, like a lot of the free to play, like Arcade, or I used to be really into the Nexon games.
So are you tending your crops in Arcade?
I don't play it anymore, but I did play it for a bit.
Neither do I.
Oh,
It was beautiful game, but don't play anymore. Okay, so you are a gamer. That's a great thing.
Yeah. I let go of the console. I'm all on PC now.
Yay, PC.
I was going to make some snide comment about PC, Xbox. It's not going to go anywhere. But no, okay, so, coming in, so what is it like, to be a gamer as well as a CM? Obviously, you're a gamer and you're going to have the, as far as interaction as a gamer. Does that help you, or does that bring anything to the table, especially when dealing with players that, for the job that, you're working at?
I can put myself in their shoes. I think that's the most I get out of that is
Empathy.
Yeah, like I can see their point in what they say or what they want and kind of thing, or how they could feel about certain things.
Well, that's a great quality to have, because definitely as community manager, while you will deal with people that are very happy and so forth, a lot of it is people that have issues and problems that need resolved. So you've got to have that empathy.
Yeah.
Well, I think it comes down to with anything out there, if I'm a community member and I have an issue, or maybe I have a suggestion, it's the fact of, does it land on deaf ears, or is it at least it lands on someone, at least whether or not it's dealt with or accepted. If it's an idea, it's just the fact of someone is listening. I feel like that's something that you just mentioned, that you heard that they liked the Halloween and the Christmas holiday. Next thing you know, you do a pot of gold and boom, it's one of those little things where taking community feedback and then actually applying, what you heard. And I think that's actually a really positive thing, especially for the community, because they see that.
Yeah, I'm still learning the game, so I'm trying to understand everything that they're talking about, whether it's the forums or social medias and whatnot. But when I understand their language fully, then I will definitely get better at taking their feedback.
You picked an IP that is so rich in history. You mentioned the novels, previous games, but just like the jargon used, it's like, if
like not saying robots.
Yeah, well, or just in-game terms and just all the dialogue that happens and coming in, and it's something that me and Daeron have, we take for granted, right? So you're sort of bringing something unique in the perspective of, you're new to the IP as well, and you're going to be new to the game. So that's actually, I think it's a good strategy, because speaking of which, I guess we can sort of dive into this new player experience. You're literally living it, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's one of the first things that I was thinking about, is I can see in the new player's point of view at this point how steep the learning curve is, and
it's steep. We know.
Very, yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and I think that's actually a really cool perspective that someone like yourself brings to the table, is you literally can say, this is what it's we're not doing, and this is something we can improve upon. And obviously, this goes into discussion of the town hall meetings with Russ, and we were just talking about this, Daeron, that new player experience was pretty much it's a huge thing. So I mean, that's awesome that you're gonna be able to combine your own personal experience and saying like, hey, like I hopped in game and I had no idea what was going on this perspective, and hey, we really need to fix this and that. So I think that's a really cool angle.
Now, as Phil said, you're bringing something new to this. You're new to the IP for the most part, and giant stompy mechs, battle mechs. And you also, I'm sure, are aware there's been a couple previous community managers. I would say it's a tough market. It's a tough job. What are you most nervous about being the new community manager?
I would say saying the wrong things, or that's why I haven't been communicating too much yet, or talking to the community too much yet. Is I don't want to say anything wrong yet that would possibly offend them or anything like that.
We've told everybody that you're in MechWarrior boot camp, so
Right.
You're getting trained.
Mm-hmm.
I could probably say is like, I think in general your communication doesn't really even need to be as far as like the knowledge of the game, probably wouldn't even have to be at all even really important. And I think that's one of the things the community manager, yes, having game knowledge is really important, but a lot of these issues that these players or whatever are having are non-game related, so I don't think that I would say I think you'd be surprised, of the sort of freedom you'd get from being new to the IP and stuff like that. So I don't think you would offend anybody. Like saying robots.
No.
There's
No.
people that have
People will
played
play with
Battletech.
you.
Yeah, or
and joke.
I
Battletech
see.
players that say robots too, and it gets on.
Yeah.
I'm like, come on, God, really? It's but
we mess with each other. I think, yeah, the main thing, I think Phil hit it on the nail on the head earlier, is just the communication, listening and communicating back with them. That's going to be the most important thing, regardless of whether you have 30 years of Battletech history.
Right, of course.
because in reality, like, I mean, I play quite a bit. I mean, you're never going to be the best or like be able to understand every single nuances of every single mech and every little detail. I mean, there's just so much out there. So there's a lot to be, forgiven when it comes to that. But, what are you most excited about, I guess?
It's been about, I think, 3 weeks now that I've been here, and I've been really happy with everything so far. Like, I really like working here. I've been staying. I keep wanting to stay later than usual. So
I noticed last night you were in the office very late.
yeah, I don't know. It's just I want to stay, basically.
Good.
So yeah, I'm really excited to basically
Just everything?
Yeah, everything. I can't really put it to one thing. I can't wait to get comfortable with everything and everyone and know everybody, like the staff, really well too, so I can directly go bug them whenever I want, kind of thing.
Gotcha. Totally. So now you mentioned you've just been there for a few weeks. Do you already have like plans for the near future? Do you basically have goals for, let's say, the first 6 months of working for PGI?
Yes. Well, one which just started was the community spotlight, but this is more of a smaller thing. I would say giving support to player-created tournaments or events and such like that, in a way that we could help them, whether it's contributing with little prizes or making it more known to the community, like announcements and such.
Speaking of the spotlight and the community events, leagues and tournaments and so forth, you did just release the first community spotlight, which featured Major League MechWarrior, the player-run tournament that's coming up, as well as some other community-created content. As I mentioned before, this community is insane. It's in a good way. Amazingly talented people, a lot of content out there. So basically, what is the goal with the community spotlight? What kind of content will you be looking for?
Mainly, I would say well, as I put on the current one, the latest one is the thing that was highlighted the most was the tournament. I would say actually a little bit of everything. I would say creations. I really like what I've seen on the forums. It seems a bit hidden. Not many people go into that area. But for example, there was a community-run event that I saw, which was really neat. It was a great idea, and I don't know if that many people knew about it. It was called the Dodgeball event or something like that. And I'd really like to see more of those and be able to help them get it more out there. So really anything that's kind of highlighting the community at that current time. I'm sure every week or month will be different. There will be something new and exciting, like someone creating a new guide or even a website, because I saw many user-created websites as well, like the Smurfy. But yeah, the tournaments, I think, definitely can get our support. From what I see, they're doing a really good job organizing themselves.
Well, speaking of the tournaments and support, that's something that you're kind of finalizing right now, right? Is kind of
Yes, that's right.
establishing a pipeline for supporting the community directly from PGI?
Yeah, we're still coming up with what we can do. Basically a set thing that will be fair for everybody who organizes.
Yeah, the new events and the ones that have been around for years, literally, like Run Hot or Die, they had an alpha event. So they were, before the game even launched, they were doing events. Like the Dodgeball that you mentioned and Wobbly Wednesdays the Beer Warriors put on, that I think are amazing and great. And every, like you said, every week there'll be new ones. You'll be checking Reddit or the forums or whatever, and people will try things. And I've always felt that there needs to be more support for these types of events from PGI, and that, you know, it's hard to do these kinds of things, and people do it on their own time, and they're...
Well, I sort of see, and this is something, maybe a question for you. You don't have to have the answer, but if you do, you know, I feel like one of possibly the issue is, you mentioned it, just visibility. I mean,
Yes.
So that's what you're sort of providing. You're providing
shining the
visibility,
spotlight,
you know.
yes.
But for regular Joe Schmo, or maybe whether it's artwork or whatever, a lot of the times stuff just gets lost. I mean, you go to the general discussion. I mean, you post something up that may be totally pertinent, but it gets, you know, it's on the second or third page by the, you know, afternoon and or fan section. And I feel like that's always the tough thing, is shining light, is you know, whether it's, we call it daily mech porn. I used to post up, you know, pieces of artwork that people would do, and there's a few like BattleTech MechWarrior artists on DeviantArt, and we'd, you know, share and stuff like that. But I feel like that is sort of, I don't know if it's just the forum sort of structure, or there's no way for people to like submit stuff on a daily or weekly or monthly basis, and I feel like that's probably one of the biggest things, is just getting that visibility, or even, it doesn't even have to be acknowledgement per se, but if someone does something really cool, you know, let's I think
what you're saying, things getting lost, I think that is a big issue. There's so many amazingly talented artists in this community.
Yeah.
And it's just like, if you didn't, you know, like there's Halloween art threads that are just gone, or there's, you know, whatever, and it's just amazing. There needs to be like almost an art gallery that's always established, always there, where people don't have to dive through threads, maybe like a Hall of Fame or something like that, because I mean, seriously, there's some beautiful stuff.
Yeah, that would be neat. More
ideas
ideas for, you know, fan creations. And yeah, there I was amazed. I saw some people transforming their desk into
a mech cockpit.
Yeah, I was so impressed.
One guy literally built an Atlas head. So the entire, like, man, I mean, I don't know how some of these people do this, but yeah, it's insanity. And this stuff needs to be out there and shown. And that's what you're going to do. That's part of what you're going to do.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
So I guess, could I ask, I mean, from a community's managers, how do you feel about like player expectations? Is that something that, you know, is something that sort of falls upon your shoulders?
I saw a lot of feedback on the forums on what players expect from community managers, basically. And what I noticed, a lot of them were asking for communication. I think that was the biggest thing I saw them asking for. Saying they want to know what's going on with the devs, and they want their voices to be heard, kind of thing.
Yep, I can totally agree with that. Like I said before, and Phil, I think that's the most important thing: listening and communicating.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone is, or trying, maybe they're doing something, or they, obviously you have these submissions, or how does one contact you? Like if I've got a pretty cool piece of artwork, or maybe I did this story or write up, or maybe I'm doing an event. Is there a pipeline right now for, someone to reach out for that?
Yeah, for creations like that, there's an email which people can contact. It's community@mwomerks.com. So it's like, you know how there's the feedback email and then there's the support emails? Well, this one is community @ basically, where they can submit all the details of their creations or YouTube channel or art or tournament or anything like that.
And you read that every day, once a week, once a month?
Oh, every day. It comes to me directly. I'm looking at it right now. It's every day.
I knew that answer, but wanted them to know.
Yeah, same with feedback. I'm still figuring out how I'm going to do that, but there is a feedback email as well. And I'm going to basically try and organize it in categories and see how I can share that with the designers and collect it, basically.
That'd be awesome. And diving in here, like I said, there's so many people out there, and again, stepping into that role. Again, I wouldn't be too afraid about lack of knowledge of the game and stuff. I don't think that's a biggie. But speaking of which, the game, is that something you're looking at getting into pretty hardcore? I mean, do you got a favorite mech so far? Is there one that's because of your previous game? Is there anyone that's cute to you and you like it? I mean, what are we?
Oh, Irby is adorable. Yeah, I actually already have a favorite, but I don't know should I share?
Yes, you should share.
Yeah.
we actually, this is when we do Mechs, Devs, and Beer normally and have somebody on for the first time. That's one of the questions, what their favorite mech is. So yes, it would be appropriate if you do have one.
Okay, well, I felt really OP when I was playing with the Timberwolf. That was I got attached, so.
Well, that's understandable. It's a favorite of many people.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's why I tried it. I'm like, hi, I've heard of this one a lot. I think I'm going to give it a try.
Do you like the looks of it?
Yeah, well,
Very curvy.
There's many that I would, like, I don't know how I would choose one that I dislike. Basically, they all look very good.
I think we need to introduce her to the Hunchback. I'm just saying.
Maybe I haven't seen them all. You're right.
No. He's not saying it in a bad way. The reason they all look good is thanks to your fellow coworker, Alex Iglesias.
Mm-hmm.
He is a genius.
Mech porn god creator.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, I just want to say again, thank you, Tina, for answering the questions. And obviously, we're going to be interacting with you. Well, we already do behind the scenes on a daily basis, but a lot of the people out there may not know who you are. And I think it's great to
now they do
get your voice out there. But, we'll definitely have you, like I said,
in a Timberwolf in a stream one of these days.
Maybe, or on a podcast, or even on, like I said, joking around. Maybe there's a Tina's Corner where you answer questions. I don't know. You never know. It could happen. But again, thank you for taking the time out of your workday to answering a few of these of who you are, what you do, and what you're going to be doing. And I think it's always good hearing. And especially, like I said, I think the coolest thing is you are bringing that new player experience, that personalized experience. And I think right now, that's a big benefit. So
what's going to be cool is going to be talking to her in 6 months and seeing how far she's come.
Yes.
That will be
Can't
awesome.
wait.
Not that I'm not excited that you're on board. We are. It's nice to have another community support person working with us.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tina.
And a big thank you to our community, our new and old listeners, especially those old listeners.
Hey,
Daeron.
Hey.
And our amazing staff and all of our sponsors and supporters. Thank you guys. Again, we post these up on YouTube and SoundCloud for you guys. So make sure to check out both. Let us know what you prefer. It's always interesting knowing, well, I listen on SoundCloud or I listen on YouTube or I do both or
I don't listen to you. That's fine too.
Yeah, that's all right too. So anyways, guys, this was your local No Guts, No Galaxy MechWarrior podcast signing off for tonight. This is Phil.
This is Daeron.
This is Tina.
Until next time, Mech Warriors.
Don't forget to follow us on YouTube at NoGutsNoGalaxy TV, on Twitch at NGNG TV, on Facebook at NoGutsNoGalaxy Podcast, on Twitter at NoGutsNoGalaxy, on iTunes at NoGutsNoGalaxy, or via your favorite podcatcher with the RSS feed at feeds.feedburner.com/NGNG.
It'd be best if you avoid me, but I know you probably can't. You sense something is wrong with me. You can feel it on my skin, but there is more with it. Maybe I can be closer now, but I don't know how. Please help me remove my metal skin, my metal skin, my metal skin, and the wires within. You probably thought it was normal, just a little off. The truth is at one time I was, but now I'm a robot. Forever